Z97.5 Total Rock with Tiffany.
The kingdom of Jocephus is upon you.
This is the best theme music. Pro wrestler, massive movie buff, Jocephus in the Kingdom of Vhs. We don't want to waste time when we get home looking for a movie, so Jocephus, we want to ask you what's a good movie to watch this week. How many movies did you watch just the other day?
I watched 6 on the 4th of July, actually. I know this isn't a show about relationships, but can I just say that my VHS collection might have caused me to get divorced? I just want to put that out there.
So what movie would you suggest for us at the beginning of the week where we don't have to think, but we're going to be entertained?
So the movie for the beginning of the week is called Emperor of the North. It was done in 1973, and I just have a question for you. Are you ready for the battle of the century?
Yes, I'm ready for the battle of the century.
The battle of the century will occur between the railroad men and the hobos. So,
is that what this movie is about?
That's what this movie is about. In one corner, you have Ernest Borgnine, who plays a character named Shaq. And he's the toughest railroad man in the country. For instance, as his character is introduced, he finds a hobo on his train and he hits him in the head with a sledgehammer.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, and he's going to have to deal with Lee Marvin, who plays a hobo. Once again, he's the most famous hobo in the land.
Wait, but Lee Marvin is a hobo?
He does it pretty well. I don't know if he had some method acting going on there, but they introduced Lee Marvin's character because some guys attack him, and he has a chicken in his hand, and he beats these guys up with the chicken.
Is the chicken alive, or was it a chicken he was eating?
No, the chicken's alive.
He beat them with a live chicken?
Yeah, I mean, his fist was behind the force of the chicken, but still, the chicken stays in his hand the entire fight scene.
Was this a legal movie that came out in the 70s? was some kind of underground?
As far as I know, it was totally legal. He does jump out of a train later in the film through a boxcar with the chicken in his hand as well, and the chicken survives that. So,
thank goodness.
You might recognize Keith Carradine, David Carradine's brother. He's also in the movie Nashville, which I might cover another day. But he's like an up-and-coming hobo who doesn't respect the veteran hobos. So he's constantly fighting with Lee Marvin, and he's like, whenever Lee Marvin hops a train, he'll look around the corner, and there's Keith Carradine, whose character is named Cigarette.
Nice. Are they on the train the entire movie, or do they ever get off the train?
They have various stops because half of the movie is spent because Lee Marvin makes a challenge that he can stay on Ernest Borgnine's train during his entire route across the country.
Those are some pretty big words.
Those are big words, and Borgnine finds out about it, or Shaq, as we should say. Shaq finds out about it, and he's looking for him the entire time.
Are there any women in this movie at all?
There are hardly any women characters in this film. It's just like almost all dudes. I don't know where the women are.
So there's no unnecessary love scene in this one?
No unnecessary love scenes, no unnecessary chicken dinners. And there's the whole dynamic between what is a veteran hobo, what's a rookie hobo, how should the hobos respect each other. Borgnine doesn't respect any of them. He just doesn't want them on his train, so...
He doesn't understand or appreciate the hierarchy of the hobos.
Absolutely. And at some point, Lee Marvin, as A1, says to Cigarette, you had the juice, but not the heart, kid.
How many choke slams would you give Emperor of the North?
I'm going to give Emperor of the North 4 choke slams out of 5. It's got a lot of good elements. It's got railroad fights. It's got chicken scenes. It's got a couple of explosions, but it doesn't have any women in it. I'm not saying the ladies just deserve 1 choke slam, but you got to have female characters in there too, I think.
Jocephus and the Kingdom of Vhs.
Yes.
Kingdom